Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric on our continuing series, The Translation Theater, where I take a look at some of my favorite or most important fan translations of all time. They were taking a look at Napple Tale, Arsia, and Daydreams. Kind of sounds like a Castlevania title, but it has absolutely nothing in common with that game. But it is a very deep, interesting action RPG platform game that is 100% impenetrable if you do not have an English translation at your disposal. Before you get too far involved, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I have a Patreon link down below in the description as well. But I owned an Napple Tale for a very long time before this fan translation came out, and while there are walkthroughs online to help you through the Japanese version, I was never able to successfully beat the game, because this game has a lot of deep role-playing game elements and hints and storylines that you need to complete to be able to progress further into the game, and I will touch on a little bit of those later. But now that we have a fan translation of this game, it is absolutely a joy to play because it is colorful, it's interesting, the soundtrack is so unique and dynamic. It is just a fun game from start to finish that now we can finally enjoy because we can play it in full English. You will see some things are a little bit touchy. Some of the text descriptions that come up do not fit in the text boxes because they were originally in kanji, which would have been short. But other than that, there's absolutely no downfall to having this in English, and absolutely so many upsides. Now, if you can't tell already, this is a 3D platformer, but it plays more like an isometric 3D platformer. If you ever remember the games on PlayStation 1, Pandemonium and Pandemonium 2, it reminds me of something similar to that, except slightly different in nature. But whatever type of game it is so much fun to look at. It is colorful, it's unique, it's dynamic, and it's another awesome platformer on the Dreamcast that didn't come to North America or to Europe. And for the longest time, I was so curious about this game, I really tried to play it from start to finish, but there's so many little side quests that you need to complete and understand to be able to open up new levels and new areas of existing levels, that even with a comprehensive walkthrough, it was just a tough nut to crack, and I gave up probably half a dozen times. But now, because it's in English, you get to enjoy one of the most interesting and unique import-only games in the Dreamcast library. And the great part about the translation is it's extremely good. It's not just a literal translation, it translates into common English, all of the different storyline beats that are happening, all in real time, and the story is great as well. So it's a 10 out of 10 as far as translations are concerned. And this is one of those games that people knew about being on Dreamcast for the longest time, and it was highly, highly reviewed when it came out, but of course, we just couldn't understand it. What I mean couldn't understand is, you'll see here, there's different aspects of the game. There's a lot of story and a lot of text. And right now, I'm skipping ahead back and forth in the game just to explain my concept here. He needs to play the music of spring for these school children because the school is now open, and that will allow us to open or access another level in the game. But when he starts playing the piano, things don't sound right because the piano is malfunctioning, and until that piano is working, we are not going to be able to progress in the game. Now, the headmaster of this school is going to give us a hint as to how to do that. We need to find somebody who knows the person who made the piano that can help us fix it. But if this was all in Japanese, you would never understand that was the next goal. You'd know something was wrong with the piano, but you wouldn't know that Geiger made it. And you would never get a hint that I did not show, that you need to go talk to a certain specific character to find out where you could find Geiger as a character. And that opens up the second half of the second level for you to find this person. But in Japanese, that would have been impossible. Now, on the walkthrough, it'll tell you where to go and who to talk to, but without being able to read the street signs and the different signage in the game, talk to other characters who will tell you where to find the specific character, Melee here, that we are talking to, you're basically almost stuck in the first little part of the game. But as good as this game looks, as fun as the translation is, the soundtrack is fun and unique and spectacular and so different than anything else on Dreamcast. I have to give you guys a good amount of time to listen to it, so enjoy it, and I'll be back in about 45 seconds and tell you more about why, if you've never played Napple Tale, you should do it right after the video. But enjoy! It's such an upbeat yet peaceful soundtrack. It almost feels orchestral in nature, and the soundtrack just keeps getting better and better as the game goes on. But now that we were able to talk to Melee and he would tell us where we could encounter Geiger, the second part of this stage opens up, because before you found out where to find this character, you could not go any further in this stage. You had to exit back to the town. And now that we know where he is, we can have that piano repaired and we can open up the third level in the game. And trust me, even with a walkthrough, this is near on impossible to be able to pull off when you cannot understand the English in the game. And the English is everywhere. It's on signs, different character gives you hints. This really is a role-playing game with a platform game built on top of it. Because here you'll see Mayor Frogcar, a hilarious design. He is just one of my favorite characters in the game and so strange, is stuck on a curb. Now if you talk to him and you were playing this in Japanese, you will be able to understand that you got him off the curb, but he won't talk about some of his goals and aspirations moving forward, which are going to be able to unlock other different areas of the game, because the game works in a season system. You start with spring, you move to summer, you go to fall, you finish in winter, but you can't access different seasons until you both accomplish certain things in levels and accomplish certain things for different characters within the game world themselves. And now we have access to Mayor Frogcar's house, which currently is empty, but different things will happen as you progress further on into the game, and you'll have to talk to Mayor Frogcar, and that's a hilarious name to say, I'm surprised I'm not laughing saying it, multiple times to be able to progress in the story. And there's so many different mechanics I'm not showing you. You can build different helper characters out of parts that you find in the world, and you need to know the recipes for them. And when they're in English, it works perfectly. When they're not in English, it is impossible. But back to the gameplay elements, I just love this game. It is a slow-moving game, there's no question about that, compared to something like Sonic Adventure or Super Mario 64. As far as a platform game is concerned, it is a very slow pace, but the controls are excellent, the analog works extremely well, especially for Dreamcast era. Everything's exactly how you would expect it to be, and it's just a fun game to play and to look at. The only thing that I've ever had in this game that kind of drives me nuts is occasionally you can clip through platforms. It's rare, but it does happen. It's maybe the only strike that I would give against the game itself. But the jumping is great. You have the shadow for landing on platforms. It's everything you need in a 3D platformer. Now I understand the pacing may put some people off. This game takes like a good hour to get really good. It is a slow opening game. It slow burns the hell out of you. But if you put the time in and wait around and get to the good gameplay elements, you're going to find one of the best platformers on the Dreamcast you didn't know existed. It also has trap chests, just be aware of that. But moving into the first boss, I just love how charming this game is as well. And now we have this fun kind of like Middle Eastern pan flute music going on, and we're going to get more story about what this character is as a boss, what his motivations are, and that English text. And that's what's so important, is that you miss so much of this game without the English, and the fan translation on it is perfect. Even if you got through this entire game in Japanese with a walkthrough, you would be missing like 80% of the charm of the game. Sure, you get the colorful graphics, sure you get this great soundtrack, but the storyline of what's going on in Napple Tale is the most important part. And the boss fights are fun. I love this character. He's a King Cobra, and of course, because he's a King Cobra, he has a crown of mushrooms on top of his head. It's not a hard fight. This game is not mechanically hard, but dealing with the role-playing elements to get the different beats in the story to be able to progress is the important part, and without English that would be impossible. This is a 9 out of 10 platformer and a 10 out of 10 translation if there ever was one. It is absolutely spectacular, and I can't recommend you play this enough. I played it on an original Dreamcast with my GDEMU, but you can burn this to a disc and you can emulate it. It works no matter how you do it. But that is Napple Tale. It's an awesome game, one that I've been waiting years to play, and this translation's pretty new, so it is something that you probably haven't known about, or if you did, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you thought. But I'll be back next Tuesday with another episode in Translation Theater. I'll have videos throughout the week as well. Hit like and subscribe, and get notification bell, definitely helps us out. And it is late when I'm recording this, it's about midnight, so just like the girl here, I'm going to sleep. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.